Principle number 1.
Weight loss and weight gain come down to one simple equation.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
Oh my gosh, I feel like we've talked about this every week for the last 6 weeks.
I need to put a whiteboard back here. I can draw on my whiteboard. All right, weight loss.
Calories in, calories out equals weight loss or weight gain. So calories in needs to be higher than calories in needs to be higher than calories out if you are trying to gain weight. So a lot of times this falls into athletes, different professionals in different sports, or maybe someone who's just trying to build muscle or be a powerlifter. Like it could be any of those. For weight loss, calories in has to be less than calories out to lose weight. So what I've been doing very interesting lately with a lot of people is I've been paying attention to what their BMR is. Their
basal metabolic rate.
Yes. So how many calories their body burns if they laid in bed and did nothing all day long. And of course, this is just an estimated amount. And then I have them log their food.
And then put it into the calculator?
And put it into the calculator, and then I can see how many calories they're eating compared to their BMR. When I work with nutrition clients and we start talking about calories and maybe even some macros, that's usually a starting point, depending on how high or low they are, because nobody over the age of 4 should be eating a 1,200 calorie diet.
It's pretty low.
It's so low. So like people cut to 1,200 calories, and then I'm like, okay, well, I can't cut anymore. So then we have to go through this period
You could cut.
I know, but
It's called starvation.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. But so like then it goes through this phase of building more calories to be able to cut again. So like it's just a good. Like to use it as a starting point.
So, so a lot of people will try to argue the whole like kind of hormonal thing, all that kind of stuff, where I can't lose weight because my insert specific hormone of the day here, type of stuff. And like at the end of the day, it's calories in, calories out. But what our hormones do is they actually influence how we behave, right? So when we think about calories in, there's actually a bunch of things that apply to it, right? It's like your appetite. How hungry are you? It's the actual foods that you consume. Are they whole foods or are they processed foods? Because we're going to absorb more calories from a processed food than we are from a whole food, right? It's psychological factors. It's our stress levels. It's how much sleep we've got, our sleep quality. All of those kind of things impact the calories in, right? And so it's still calories in at the end of the day, but our hormones and other factors are going to affect how we feel about those calories in, right? And the type of calories that we're taking in. Because at the end of the day, it's absorption. And there's gonna be a lot of things that affect that.
Well, and other, like based on things that are going on, hormones are gonna, like you have hormones that trigger that you're hungry. You have hormones that trigger that you're not hungry. And if your hormones are out of whack and they're telling you to not stop eating, well, you're not gonna stop eating. Like,
right.
And so yes, your hormones play a role, but
they're not the reason you can't lose weight. They're an influencing factor, but they're not directly it. And
so,
then we look, go ahead.
So a lot of times, like balancing your hormones is going to be important to be able to start losing weight, but
because then it allows you to eat the appropriate amount you need to be successful without having all the crazy stuff happen, right? Yep. Or being hungry all the time, or being hangry all the time, or all that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, and blood sugar regulation is a big one, and it affects directly with hunger cues and all that kind of stuff. So like if you notice that you eat breakfast at 7 and you want to snack at 9, and then you eat lunch at noon and you want to snack at 3, and then you eat dinner at 5 and you want to snack before you go to bed, you're probably having some blood sugar dysregulation. So like there needs to be some adjustment to what's going on. So
nice. Then we look at the energy out piece of it, right? So Ashley talked about earlier basal metabolic rate. So how many calories you burn just being alive, breathing, blood pumping throughout your body, all that kind of stuff.
Luckily, we all do more than just breathe and lay in bed all day. And so you're naturally going to burn more than that.
But that's actually the biggest part of calories out, right? Your BMR is the biggest part of calories out, and how we influence BMR is muscle mass. So the more muscle someone has in their body, the higher their BMR is. So that's why it's really, really, really important in any type of weight loss to keep those muscles strong. And then we look at calories burned during exercise, okay? And that's actually not a lot. If you burn 400 to 500 calories in an exercise session, you're kicking butt. Like you're getting after it.
I mean, do you ever look at your calories burned when you?
Well, I look at my zone, but it's just not even close.
I mean, well, how many do you even burn? Like,
well, for me, it's probably like 500 or 600, but I don't think it's close. I see some people that are like 800 or 900, and it's just like, nah, like, I don't know. But there are effects that happen after exercise, like strength training, that kind of stuff. We actually burn more calories afterwards as our body repairs. And then we have just what we call non-exercise activity. And so that's just like moving throughout the day, right? So ways to increase this, it could be going to the bathroom on a different floor, it could be parking in the back of the parking lot, it could be riding your bike instead of taking your car. There's a lot of ways that we can
I'm actually surprised that this isn't higher.
What do you mean?
Like that on like how many calories you burn doing that stuff, I'm surprised that isn't higher. It makes me think of how inactive we are like as a society, because like
true.
Before it would have been.
Well, I would put this one as probably outside of exercise is the one we have the most control over, because like it's just taking your bike instead of taking a car or walking more. Like that's just a way to increase that without really feeling.
Should I take my
good.
bike to work?
You would burn a lot more calories. That's true. Than
there's
riding
lots
your
of
car.
hills though.
There's a nice hill that you get a lot of speed going down.
2 hills.
A lot of speed going down.
That I won't be able to maintain to go up on.
No, you won't. No,
I need the motor.
You have to
Can I borrow the
gear it down.
motorbike?
You can get your own. I'll give you a link. Affiliate code. And then the last one is when we metabolize food. So we burn calories when we break down food. And what macronutrient is the most important with that? Or what's the highest thermic burn with metabolizing food?
Protein.
Protein, carbs, fats, protein, right?
Protein.
So another reason why we stress protein so much, especially to our weight loss clients.
I feel like you were quizzing me. I'm like, I know the answer.
We're quizzing right now. Making sure you know it. So yeah, so I mean that's where the calorie out. And we're gonna post this article if you want to read more about it. But like, remember there are things that affect it, but at the end of the day, it's an equation. It's the law of thermodynamics. It's kind of like gravity. It exists. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change shape.